Hello and welcome to my channel, Mauritius. A couple of years ago, a friend of mine told me that he found in his island, he lives there, very beautiful shrimp, and he invited me to come over to go shrimp hunting with him. So I did. I just packed my stuff and said, okay, I will come. And not only the shrimp are interesting, he told me, but also there are some amazing mind-blowing creeks and rivers, of course. So I booked a flight. Unfortunately, on the way to the airport, my car broke. So I had to rebook my flight. And also, unfortunately, I had a torn muscle fiber in the calf just 1 week before the flight. So yeah, two disasters on the way to Mauritius, and there was a long flight, 11 hours. And this place is close to Madagascar, so it's in the Indo-Pacific, right? And the streets, nice in Mauritius, very different to Madagascar, because I did a stopover in Mauritius on my way to Madagascar. And the first creek I saw, because my friend Raji, who invited me, showed me this creek that was in the city of Kupip, as far as I remember. And beautiful. I saw the creek and I wanted to jump in, because look at this place. Beautiful mosses, there's beautiful plants, not all of them water plants of course on the sides, but it looked like a little beautiful creek in the sunshine, mosses on the edges of the creek. And also I saw these snails, and we know them from the trade. It's tuberculata, Melanoides tuberculata, and for the first time I observed them outside of the water. We have them in the aquariums because they are good to loosen the soil when it's too dense, so they are perfect. And what I found here also, I was like, what is this? This little bird that usually belongs to Australia, if I'm not wrong. And she was just sitting there, so we decided with Raji to catch it and bring it to a home, because he probably would not have survived. Look at that. Yeah, it's your new pet now.
Unfortunately, I don't keep birds, but I'll give it to Havi because his father owns a pet shop for different types of species.
Great, we saved the bird.
Yeah.
Of course, what is interesting to look at here is the mosses that grow on the riverbank and outside. And if we go underwater, we see that they are a little bit different from the leaves, but I'm not sure what kind of moss this is. It's interesting. I have not brought any back, but the next time I will ask for permission to export it. And also Egeria densa, this plant, it's the dense-leaved waterweed, that's the English name for it. This is spread worldwide, and it's well known in the trade as well. We can find it worldwide, everywhere. Every pet shop has it. And also the Hydrocotyle tripartita, it's a very small, beautiful water pennyworth. I think the English name is three-piece pennyworth, but correct me if I'm wrong. And of course, some snails in this creek as well. There's the typical Physa, small snails. It's a species that is widespread on Mauritius, and on land also we found some big snails, really big ones. And fish, the creek was not that interesting, no local fish, and most of them were like guppies and also swordtails, Xiphophorus heleri, that probably come from the trade, introduced of course, and like so many fish in Mauritius. And yes, from here we went to another place. I mean, I just landed this day, but I wanted to see as much as possible. I had just like 3 days to spend here before my trip to Madagascar. So Raji and Havi took me to a place that was more close to the sea. And here you find Neritina gagates. And this species is very similar to a Neritina, the helmet snail that we have in the trade worldwide. Neritina puligera, and the habitat is very, very similar. So for me it was nice to observe the snails for the first time from this group, from this Neritina group, the Gagates group. I could observe the snails in the wild to see how dense they are on rocks, where exactly to find them, but of course I found them on hard substrate, but also later you will see on very fine roots, like in this place. And that was fascinating because I have not found them in a place like that yet. Usually on rocks, yes. On wood, yes. But on something like this, I have never seen them before. So interesting. In this creek, there have been not too many fish, but this guy, it's a species that is native to Mauritius, but not only in Mauritius. This guy is called, the Latin name is Eleotris picta, described 1863, and is called a spotted sleeper. And for sure, he will eat shrimp and probably smaller fish as well. And he's widespread. The distribution is said from north to South America, Pacific slope of California, USA to Peru, Galapagos Islands, but obviously Africa, Mauritius, and probably maybe even up to Japan, who knows, because we found shrimp here that are also find to be found in Japan, so very widespread. This guy inhabits rivers of low to high current velocity and from sea level up to 100 meters elevation. While I was exploring the whole place, Raji, his job was to find some shrimp, and he did. So let's see what Raji found in the time I was looking around. Tell me what you have found.
So I found a few shrimp and a few snail as well. At first I thought it was a broken snail, but I don't know if you know the snail.
This is tiara.
Okay.
It's a tiara
This
species.
one is dead,
yeah.
but I found one alive.
This is tiara.
Okay, it's not Malaysian trumpet. It's a different species.
It's a different species, yeah.
Or I found
I think you found here two different type of shrimp.
no, 3 or 4.
3 or 4?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Something is missing though.
Yeah. I can see that. It's very dark because it was rainy the last days, right?
Yeah.
Flooding.
Yeah.
Even.
But I found a giant goby, but I don't know where it goes. Yeah, about this size.
Really?
Yeah. So we have
A long-nose shrimp.
yeah, both female. I don't know what it is exactly.
Yeah, we have to film them with a lot of light then.
Yeah.
Because now it's too dark, but it's super interesting. I see at least 2-3 species here, yeah.
There's a transparent one.
Yeah,
A long nose
exactly.
with a reddish tip. I
Yep.
don't know what it is.
And the black one with the stripe.
Yeah. So
Yeah. We will put more light to them. But interesting, you found something cool?
I found some really small one, reddish one. It's in here, but the light is too dark.
And you found them in the leaves or on the margins?
Exactly.
In the leaves, right?
Was it moving at all? I just found them hanging around. Even if I put the net down in the water, they wasn't moving at all.
Okay.
So,
And let the people know where they can find you if they want to come to Mauritius. And
so my name is Raja. My Facebook page is Mauritius Exotic Fish. A lot of people know me around here. So I do a lot of content about aquascaping and expedition around Mauritius. So you will find my Facebook page.
all right,
Yes,
cool. And look at the snails. A lot of them here, of the Neritina gagate. So
And I didn't know about this one that we have here.
yeah,
So does it breed in fresh water or brackish?
yes, it's freshwater.
Okay, cool. I can.
Brackish is just a Neritina there.
Cool.
Nice, very good job.
Thank you.
So it was already late and getting dark, so we went back to the shop of Havi, and I found some poster that I made there a couple of years ago. Very funny to see this, that they reached Mauritius. Amazing. And I asked Havi some questions, so let's hear what he says.
The problem here is shrimp, the invertebrates is banned. So
It's banned.
Yeah, we don't.
You're not
we don't-
allowed
We are
to.
not allowed to import. So the few left is what in the country from people at that time when it was authorized. So they were able to bring in some breeding or still being done, but people don't understand how to maintain the parameters. Why is the Caridina is different to the Neo Caridina? So we are not taking the risk to introduce the Caridina for the time being until we are sure that people understand well the Neo Caridina first, and then when they want to explore further, then we introduce the Caridina to them. But unfortunately, the Caridina are being sold at some high prices.
How much is a Caridina?
We can say that these Neo Caridina are being sold at, maybe in Mauritian rupees, it's 100 rupees, 125, 140 rupees, depending on the grade. But the Neo Caridina, it's on 500 rupees minimum to 1000 rupees, one shrimp, equivalent to 20 euro.
20 euro?
One Caridina.
One Caridina?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yes, that's mind-blowing. 20 euros for a Caridina, that's about $22, I guess. Of course, the shop is one of the nicest in Mauritius that you can find. You can see that there's a guy who really cares about aquascaping, has a lot of products, and tries to build up something in Mauritius. I was very happy to find this place and to look at, and to give you also an example that there is shops even on an island far, far away. I think it's a beautiful shop. If you are in Mauritius, usually people make vacations here, check it out. So this was the first day. I was really super tired, got some really nice fruits, and then went to relax. I slept in the place of Raji, but I will show you his crazy place in one of the next videos. The next morning, Raji and Havi promised me to find these guys. Mind-blowing. So early morning, that means like between 9 and 10, that's early morning in Mauritius. We got ready to go outside, and Havi and Raji, not far away from their place, was a place that he observed for many years. He kept the location secret, but it's like, I think, like 4 miles away from his place. And we drove there, of course, and this sign gave me to think, do you know what that means? I was like, what? Heavy plant crossing? Of course, there's a lot of sugarcane on the island. It's like 70% of the space they use to grow stuff, it's sugarcane. And we went to this place that probably not many cars go there. And interesting to see, of course, sugarcane fields everywhere, wherever you see they're present all over the island. But what was interesting for me was this rock. Mauritius is a volcanic island. And when I saw these rocks, I was super enthusiastic because I could imagine to have them in my aquarium. You know, usually you have to buy them very expensive in the trade, and here they're everywhere. And this little creek, unfortunately no shrimp because probably too warm, and maybe also pollution. So we went to the place that Raji kept secret for many years. And it was exciting because when I saw the place from the bridge, Raji didn't promise me too much. He showed me the place and I knew that this will be mind-blowing. I could not wait to get down there to this little cool creek. Even if it was super warm outside, we had to go down, and it was really difficult to get down there because it rained the days before. It rained a lot. Actually, there was a flooding, and I thought already when I come I will not find anything. But the gods, they have been very good with me, so we went down, and it was super slippery. When I went up, I nearly fell in the aquarium that I carried, and I could easily killed myself because it was like 1 inch away from that the glass go into my chest, because I really fell. But on the way down, I looked at the mosses. It was difficult to get down, and good thing in Mauritius is there is no poisonous snakes. There's no ticks, no poisonous snakes. So I was just going through everything without being afraid I step on a snake or I will catch some other things that harm me. Of course, there's mosquitoes. Yes, a lot. And they also bite me a lot. They bit me everywhere where they could. But of course, I forgot about it when I went down here. And the creek, we will see it in a second, was beautiful. And I see fish too.
Less fish, more shrimp.
All right. Wow, it's nice and cool. So tell me about this spot. You have been here.
I discovered it the first time in 2013. The first time I came here. So I discovered around 8 to 10 species of Caradina species here that we will show in a few minutes in the montage if you want.
Of course. What a beautiful spot.
Yeah. And it's almost not polluted like this.
Almost not polluted. It's clear. It's cool. The water has, in my opinion, like 19-20 degrees Celsius. But we will find that out. What a beautiful spot. And big spiders. Holy moly. I'm not a big friend of spiders, but I want to see the shrimp, so I have to. I felt that this place was really paradise. The water was nice and warm, and underwater it was clear. The view was not perfectly clear, but still a good visibility, and I wanted to see the shrimp. And when I put my phone underwater, this was the first shrimp that I could film, and my mind was like going, what is this? A beautiful animal, bluish, yellowish, even a little bit of red. So I was super excited to see it. The water was really fast flowing, and I wondered that the shrimp just sit here and they are active during the day, because usually, like in Asia, most of the shrimp you find in the evenings or at night. Some, of course, during the day, like the bee shrimp. But these guys, like pretty big, I would say 3 to 4 centimeters. That's about 2 inch. And you could find them during the daylight. Of course, I had to use an extra light because it was kind of dark. And also the trees, they protect the creek to be warmer. I think here the water temperature was about 71 Fahrenheit, which is about 22 in Celsius. That's approx. We have not measured that, but usually I am more or less right in the temperature. So it was pretty warm for a Caridina species, and I guess these are Caridina. I think it's an undescribed new species, because from Mauritius we know just few species, and that also breed in brackish and marine. They live in freshwater, like Ceraterostris that we have shown before. But here this is a clearly 100% freshwater species, because also the female had bigger eggs, and the color is mind-blowing. Raji said that probably here is 8 to 10 species. In my view, but we have to still examine that, there's 2 to 3 species, but a high variation in the color. And here we can see some deposits on the rocks. This is probably a mix of algae and sediments that came into this creek. The creek is still okay, but you can see that there's the sugarcane fields around. And probably 400 or 500 years ago, this creek was really clean, so without sediment, maybe some algae, but I think a lot of soil gets washed into this creek, especially when it's heavy raining or flooding, and because there's no more jungle around this place, and hopefully the shrimp will not get affected by it. And here we have some of the blue ones. So in my view, it's just a color variation, but we have to examine this, we have to find out, and we have to check the genetics. And before we don't do that, we cannot be 100% sure. I have not taken any home, so I could not examine them at home. We left them there because also I need to have permissions to take some out. But at the moment we will ask for that, and I will send Raji some alcohol so we can put them in alcohol and work with them at the university and at the museum. So this is a typical place where you find shrimp on hard substrate where the water is not that fast flowing. Also usually they are more at the margins. But usually where there's the leaves or hard substrate like wood or rock, you find shrimps. So how about the fish that we have in this creek? And I found this big guy and many more. Every couple of meters I found one of these, and they can really grow big. They can grow up to 6.6 feet for females and about 4.9 feet for the males. That's 2 meters versus 1.5 meters in meters, of course, and up to 20.5 kilograms. That's 45 pounds. So they are one of the largest species of eels, and these marbled eels, Anguilla marmorata is the Latin name, they are widespread in the Indo-Pacific. You can find them from East Africa to French Polynesia, from Japan to Mozambique, Zambezi River. I mean, they are really widespread. Galapagos Islands, of course, Hawaii, and also in Mauritius. The animals live in fresh water, but also in brackish water, so in river, lakes, all the tributaries. But for breeding, they migrate sometimes long distances out into the open ocean to spawn over deep water. Another species that I have found here, a species of fish, was the green swordtail. The Latin name is Xiphophorus heleri. A species of freshwater and sometimes also in brackish water. For example, in Mexico, I have found them years ago in brackish water, and they are closely related to southern platyfish, Xiphophorus maculatus. We have them in the trade, and these guys are native to North and Central America, from Veracruz, Mexico to northwestern Honduras. But they are introduced worldwide, I mean in warm waters, of course. I have seen them recently in Madagascar, in the rice fields, everywhere there. People catch them for food, but I will present this to you in one of the next videos. And these guys grow up to 5.5 inch the males and 6.3 inch the females.
So we are going to test the TDS of the water. Like you see, it's around 60-61 total dissolved solid.
Yeah, 63.
Yeah, and temperature wise it's around 19-20 degrees.
I think it's even warmer. I would put it like 22, 23.
Yeah.
And
it's
how?
just the beginning of winter. Yeah.
Okay. And what are we measuring here?
So we are using the Denele water test kit.
You have the test kit, so we can show what you are using.
Yeah. I don't know.
So that the guys, if they want to do it with that stuff. Okay.
So these are the parameters. We don't have the box, but these are for KH, GH, and pH. We are doing mainly for the pH one right now.
All right.
So we shake it a little bit. You add 5 ml of the water, then 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then starting to react. And then you can shake it a little bit, just like this. And then you can instantly compare with the chart they're given.
All right.
And you can see it is in the range of 6.5.
Yes. Very cool. So the pH is 6.5.
Yeah.
So what are we doing next?
Moving to another location.
Just the box, it is the Denele Aqua test. You get 100 tests for GH, KH, and 200 tests for pH.
Great. And they can buy it in your shop in Mauritius,
Yes,
right?
definitely.
You are distributor of Denele here.
Yeah, definitely. So you have all the products, and even for the products that we don't bring, we can bring them on pre-order.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
What a beautiful spot.
One of my favorite locations.
Is your favorite spot, and you
One.
can be a tour guide if people want to come here, because we cannot give them coordinates, otherwise the shrimps are gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing place, guys.
But you came in the right time.
I came in the right time.
Season
Why?
wise, yeah.
Why did I came in the right time?
Because most of the carabiner here come out mostly in winter. you have April, June, July till August.
And then?
And then it's back summer. You won't find many like this.
Okay, but we found some really nice ones.
Yeah.
And for examining them to see what species it is, we
We'll
took one
send
or
some
two.
sample for lab. Yeah.
We sent some stuff to the laboratory and checked them out genetically and also morphologically. Maybe Werner Klotz already can tell, because in your view we have a lot of new species here, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, cool. Let's move on to another spot.
Yeah.
Another thing that we observed is when we came up was really a hard ride up, that we just nearly died on the way up. This we realized it's soil here because it's all volcanic and it looks like soil, right guys?
Exactly. You can plant it in.
You can plant it in, it's like the Japanese soil that we have, we know, and everything here. It's like the Akadama soil, amazing. This all is sugarcane here. And sugarcane, why is it so important? Let's film this, yeah.
That's good. Even for shrimp tank.
Yeah, absolutely. And because I spent so much time in the first place, we had to run to the second location because it was already afternoon. And here was a channel and there was a big surprise. We found Liliopsis mauritania. That is an endemic plant of the island of Mauritius, and the species was first collected for aquatic purposes or for the hobby in 1992, so pretty late. And in 1995, the plant nursery Tropica introduced it to the market under the name of Liliopsis Mauritius. Only later, in 1999, it was described as a new species. So it was a real surprise to find it here because Raji told me that he has not found any spot in the last time where this plant still grows. So it was really amazing to find it, and I was really happy to see it in the natural habitat. So it's a foreground plant, it doesn't grow too big, and I find it very interesting with the narrow leaves and the temperatures. It's not really a plant that needs high temperatures or specific waters. It's easy to grow.
This is amazing.
What I also found here is a species that don't belong here. It's Charax quadricarinatus from Australia, and it's introduced as well, like so many things in Mauritius, and they can grow really big. So the males have the typical red patches, the females don't have that, and usually they are grayish blue. Yeah. I think there's no chance to get them out of these waters. They established here, and it will be really difficult to get them out again. So we went to the next creek that was close from the channel there, and this was really tough, really tough. Mosquitoes everywhere, loads of them, thousands, I would say millions, because I could not really work here. The place was beautiful, as you can see, all these plants, the palms, but the mosquito, they killed us. So I could work like for 10 seconds and then I had to stop because my face, they attacked everything, and we had to stop working because it was getting dark. The quality of the film was not good. We saw some shrimp, of course, there have been plenty of shrimp, but I could not film them underwater because of the mosquitoes. But here is some nice ones with these golden dots, bluish golden dots. So we also will try to find out what species it is. We have seen some bluish ones, but not totally blue. But anyway, I think they must be very similar to the ones we found before in the creek, because also some of them had these golden dots on the back, these stripes. So let's see what we can find out, when we can have some in alcohol and send them to Werner Klotz or Christina von Rinteln to check the genetics. And when I looked up to the sky, like I said, it was like 5:30. First I thought these are birds, but then I saw they're bats. Amazing, mind-blowing. And nature, especially these plants, I could have sit there for hours just to watch the plants growing, but we could not. And if you see here, Raji, he never wears like a hoodie, but here with the mosquitoes, they collected, Raji and Avi collected some plants for bring them home, but we had to leave the place. So tomorrow will be another day, and we went to a really beautiful place, one of my top 5 now, and probably my number 1 when it comes to collect shrimp, because here not only the water has been clear, a beautiful day, and a lot of water plants and very beautiful shrimp. So thanks to Raji and Avi for bringing me to these places, because without them I would not have found these places. Really beautiful shrimp in part 2, Mauritius. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show, and see you in the next video. If you want, you can subscribe.